here, which I think is pretty likely, it's going to get cooed.
But
so,
do you metagame and not queue up warrior?
That's something to debate. It's how confident does he feel in his matchup with other decks versus it.
Oh, that is so weird because like warrior is supposedly good against hunter and good against rogue, right? So do you really want to lose warrior like this?
I don't know. You might not even be able to prevent warrior from getting lost that way, though. Warrior just might be the matchup he's afraid of anyway with the rest of his lineup.
Right. Oh man, that's so weird.
Yeah, I think this is like a really precarious situation. I think going Paladin here is good. I really do.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Forsen's Paladin, doesn't run any out of the ordinary cards. I mean, I would expect one anti-kill bot, so that's pretty important.
I don't think Paladin's going to be like exceptional versus Rogue, and it's going to be, I think, pretty decent versus Hunter.
Okay.
But like, I think the Warrior deck's going to, I don't know, maybe this Warrior deck actually doesn't do good versus this Hunter, because again, this is like the like back to the old styles where it was like Savannah Highmane just crushed that matchup,
and Tundra Rhinos too.
Yeah, and and it's got like Houndmasters, and Houndmasters is another very troublesome card you have to deal with.
Yep, that's true. All right, heading into the game, guys, and Hosty is going to what we mean is a freeze mage, and actually the warrior is going to be up here, and it's a very obvious coup by Hosty. It was just up to Forsen to whether to actually queue the warrior against this, and
yeah. So obviously, I mean, no blame there for Hosty. That's the nightmare matchup. Like if there's a matchup in Hearthstone that is like strictly a counter, I think it's warrior versus freeze mage.
Yeah, this is the most one-sided matchup in my opinion. Just gain armor, and if the even with the shield maiden, it's even worse, right?
Yeah, it's crazy like how lopsided that matchup. Even like before without shield maiden, it was lopsided. Now it's like, how do you even win?
I guess you just have to do some Archmage Antonidas shenanigans with like infinite damage, right?
You have to Archmage, Coin, Frostbolt, Ice Lance.
Right.
With a Blood Mage on the board.
And your opponent has to not shield slam it.
And your opponent has to have an earthquake happen in their area and lose connection to the game.
Oh god. Okay, let's not have any earthquakes happening. Okay, those are. All right, so yeah, Forsen is gonna be forced to change another deck. So you think Paladin's the way to go, huh? Now I think
so. I think so. Well, remember his Druid deck didn't look like it had Savage Roar.
Oh.
Because he's playing like he's playing like strictly the ramp version. It looks like.
Oh well, I think Forsen is in a little bit of a pickle here.
I don't know. I don't think Paladin's that bad. I really don't.
Okay, we'll see. Well, I think one of the main things you can, as a Paladin, to do with defensive play, as in like if you don't start well at the start to put on the pressure, is to equip a true silver champion, wait for the ally shot to come down and actually hit and heal yourself with 2, plus whatever you're gonna do.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I wonder if that's why Forsen actually has Harrison in his deck. Is so Paladins can't do that.
Oh, interesting. Maybe. Oh, but he's gonna go with the Druid instead, the Ramp Druid.
Yeah, I can't. But I don't think the Druid's like horrid in this matchup without Savage Roar. But I certainly think Savage Roar is like the difference in it being what I would consider very favorable and being close to like the 50-50 mark.
Right. All right. So off we go. Forsen has a zombie chow to start, but other than that, not really big plays. Hosty, on the other hand, not a bad selection of cards here. They're all cantrips, so you might as well just start playing some.
Loot Hoarder does not seem too exciting versus Druid.
Yeah, but at least you have something to play, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do want to get rid of the armor. This is actually one of the main things you want to take account for against Druids, is that they do stack up some armor over the course of I don't know how many turns.
Yeah, I mean that's another one of the really key ways that you can win is just weaving in as many hero powers as you can. And it's not quite as effective as a warrior hero power, but it adds up. You get 5 of those in, and that's 33% more damage that the mage has to deal over the course of the game.
Right, that's true. And like even Forsen is going to use the zombie child to trade instead of using his face to trade. Well, I mean, fine, he used the shade, but still, like, if that was an option, I'm pretty sure he would use the zombie child to trade anyways.
Yeah. Now here's another big question too: is do you actually kill this Acolyte of Pain with your shade here, or are you just not worried about it? You think go ahead and let him consume his mana, pinging it, and he can just draw however many cards you feel like.
Huh. That is interesting thing to note, but I'm pretty sure if you're gonna leave the Acolyte alive, then you want to attack with the shade to the face, right? Because like, what reason is there to like keep the shade there. You know, you want.
I actually, in this matchup, I like unveiling the shades really early
Mm-hmm.
because if they have to do something like Frostbolt it, it's less Frostbolts they get post Alexstrasza.
That's
So
true.
it just puts a lot of pressure on just the amount of cards that they can have available in their hand when
Yeah.
you get to those later stages of the game.
And they actually can't deal with this at turn 4, right? The earliest they can deal with anything is like a blizzard, and that just happens at turn 6 with the coins turn 5. So like, yeah, it's very important to know your opponent's mana cost.
If you have Forsen Savage War, it makes a lot of sense to save it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't have those, then it looks like you're just gonna have to be playing minions in the mid game. Definitely unveiling it is stronger.
All right, so here, Drew of the Claw. I believe this might be in charge mode. You could be scared of Flame Strike, perhaps, but I feel like you want to have the early pressure.
I think another big concern for him too is that, again, this isn't to say he doesn't have it, but we didn't see Force Nature Savage War, so he has to think about how much damage he's going to have available to him over the course of this game. So charging it will ensure that it gets in 4 points of damage, and I think that's a bigger story to him.
Yep.
No Frost.
And you know, Forsen Scenarios is actually a cheap Savage Roar.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've used it for most.
Right.
When do you ever make 2/2s?
Yeah, you're not gonna make 2/2s in this matchup.
Oh, Blizzard's a really nice pickup.
Oh, that is something. I think using the Ice Barrier here is logical too, because if you coin Blizzard, then what are you gonna do next turn, right? You're just the later you play your freezes, the more health you get.
Right.
But Savage Roar kills him right now if he doesn't do it. Oh wait, Ice Barrier. Yeah, that's enough health, right? That has to be.
Yeah, it's enough right now.
12 plus
11
8
plus
is
8.
20, yeah.
Go ahead and ping.
Descension. Interesting choice. Well, of course, set it to Blizzard, but Forsen might be able to, like, you know, piece things out. Black Knight is actually a pretty good draw here, right? Like, why not? Yeti for turn 4. You just miss out on the hero power, which is fine, I guess.
Yeah, it's a pretty easy slam. You're not gonna see any taunts.
Yep.
And if your opponent casts Mirror Image, I don't think that you're too sad to have missed the Black Knight value on that.
No, definitely not. Oh, another Ice Barrier. Unfortunately, the Doomsayer cannot come out of this turn. The Shade is just going to continue growing. So Hosty is really looking for a Flame Strike, for example, you know, or Frost Nova, something like that. But we do
Flame
know
Strike.
Keeper of the Grove is in Forsen's hand.
Yeah, Flame Strike, Frost Nova, and Blizzard are by far his best draws right now, just because it allows him to extend the game longer than it would be if he doesn't have those cards right now, and that's a major concern to him is how this game gets extended. So having Frost Nova and getting your Doomsayer silenced obviously sucks, but again, he has to find something to continue to stem damage until he can find a way to actually push for the game.
That's right. Belcher is a pretty good play. You can squeeze in the hero power. You kind of want to save the Ancient of Lore for heal, right? It's kind of like the yeah, you know, a good option in case your opponent does, you know, ramp up to Alexstrasza with an ice block.
Something that I used to make the mistake of is when I was playing ramp versions, I would draw with Ancient Allure, and it is when I didn't have Savage Roar. But when you have Savage Roar in your deck, it's just so important to find that card in this matchup that
That's
drawing
true.
is totally fine with it. Because usually your game plan involves just pressing the issue and not allowing them to be able to Alex you with an ice block up.
Right. And hey, this is a Jin card for Hosty. Frost Nova is going to do some work here. However, there is a Keeper of the Grove there. So
He does think it's a Jin card, but he's of course he's worried about Keeper of the Grove. I mean, you just saw your opponent draw 2 cards.
Yep.
Some of their cards have been in their hand for a very long time. Like if he's been keeping track of where this keeper is, it's been in his hand for close to since the beginning of the game.
But I mean, if you don't do that, then what do you do? You Arcane Intellect. Okay.
Ooh, Flame Strike's a really nice pickup right now.
That's a card. What can I say?
I'm curious now if you even Doomsayer or if you just ping the 5/5.
Interesting. Well, I mean, if you do play the Doomsayer, you do force your opponent to play the Keeper in response, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's okay. Yeah, you do not want to silence your own Shade to attack the Doomsayer for 7 because that's not going to work. Oh, man.
You could attack it for 2 though.
Oh, like a poke. Flame Chicken to come down here and whoa, this is pretty. Oh wow, Hosty's gonna force to use an Ice Lance here. We do know that if he hasn't used the Ice Lance, he could have lived because Scenarios only pushes 4 damage and 4 plus 8 is not 15. So he would have.
Yeah, he doesn't have an ice block up either, which is like a really big issue at this point.
Very big issue. So all of these creatures cannot be killed. You could Frostbolt the KT to prevent 6 damage on the face, of course. And well, I don't know. Does Hosty even know this is like a more ramped version? I mean, now he should know with KT coming down.
I think he's starting to piece something together. If he pings off this 5/1, Forsen actually doesn't have enough damage to pop an ice block through an ice barrier.
Wait, why? The 5/1 just comes back alive.
Oh, right, because he's got the KT. Ignore everything I said because I'm stupid.
Right. Sometimes we don't notice things. I mean, KT does be transparent sometimes. Oh, is this happening?
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Oh.
I mean, what other options do you have though? Like, you can't just Alex his opponent and hope.
Wait, why didn't he just play Thalnos and oh, he wants to ping another creature. Okay, he just wants to clean the board.
I think he's just trying to extend the game. Again, he's trying to find a position where he can freeze the board and develop his ice block and then play Alexstrasza.
Well, how's this for a position? Archmage Antonidas plus an ice barrier.
I like it. Just it depends on what your opponent does at this point. I mean, I can't imagine. Oh gosh, I really like playing the Sylvanas here. Like this is the turn where your opponent's heading into the turns where they're going to play Alexstrasza or where they're going to play Archmage.
That's true. But
I get there is another problem with that though. Like if you play Sylvanas and your opponent like plays a Doomsayer and fireballs your Sylvanas or whatever, they can take the Doomsayer that's active and clear your whole board with it.
That's true, but there is an inactive Doomsayer right now, so
yeah, so that's like 50-50.
Whoa! +2/+2 for 2 extra damage to the face.
All right, yeah. So, I'm curious if he's going to be confident enough to sit behind the ice barrier here, or if he's going to go ahead and play the ice block.
Wouldn't it be?
Yeah, I mean, sitting behind the ice barrier is going to. I mean, that's enough. He can sustain through that.
But then.
Here's the other thing too: is if you're in Forsen spot and you see that secret come down, do you think it's ice barrier or do you think it's ice block? Because now this Archmage, I mean, this is a big problem now too. You have to consider how threatening that is. So if he assumes this is ice block, which he probably, that's 15. He's got 15 points of damage this turn. So he actually, I mean, pretty sure that draw was just lethal.
Yeah, that was lethal.
Yeah, he needed Swipe or Druid of the Claw.
That's the draw, but
we've seen people miss lethal before.
No, I mean right now it's not obvious lethal because there is an ice block opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So
in that vein, do you want to use your Scenarius, your hero power, or to go first?
Interesting.
Because as soon as he attacks the face, he figures out what it is, and then that's game.
Right. I mean, he should attack the hero power first, right? You kind of just trying to rack up armor. But then how do you kill the Archmage Antonidas if that's the case?
I'll just use the Swipe.
Oh! That is.
Yeah, and that's going to be the news for Forsen now. He's going to tie this series up 1-1.
That's right. Bluff called. I'm going to kill you now. Wait.
Yeah, drop.
Okay. You got it. Okay.
I was like, oh, geez. I was like, oh, don't miss this one.
Forsen missing lethal would be pretty bad. Anybody missing lethal would be pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty rare when it happens, and when it does, it's it's ugly.
Oh my god, look at the timer. Look at the timer as well.
Yeah.
Down to the last rope.
Wow. I mean, I gotta feel bad for Hosty there. I think that was the risk he needed to take because he needed to sustain one more turn to effectively have another ice block from his ice barrier, and then play the ice block behind the Archmage. I mean, that was just what he needed to do. And so it's just the 4 extra damage that he drew. Again, it was. We don't know if he has Force Nature Savage, or I don't think he does. This is the second game we haven't seen it now.
Yep.
So Swipe and Druid of the Claw were his outs.